Tarrant County that was approved on June 13th, 2023, and enter into a new interlocal agreement that would be for $209,970 for the Rockville Road street improvements.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Excuse me. Any further discussion?
I would like to ask for one point of clarification. In order to move forward with the contract, we discussed execution of the contract. We want to request...
He can sign it tonight.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
We had talked about authorization for execution, for Marvin to execute, but it sounds like that's not a necessity.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so now we move to consider approval to amend the original quote for the Shure wireless microphone system for the council chambers, complete with the voting system, single wireless access point, and longer battery life to be expended out of 2021 certificate of obligation.
I don't know if you had a chance to read everything that Jacob was working with these people. Apparently, they misquoted it, came back, said it was going to be like 6,000 or 8,000 more, so there was no way that was going to happen. And so they went back and came back with this offer of it'll be around 2,000 and 286.83, which includes the voting system, or we can leave it just like it is with no voting system, like y'all approved originally. I think everybody was in line that we should do the voting system, but it was a great thing, and so if we do that, it would just increase it up to 2,286.83, and Jacob's going to help install it for nothing.
So, question now. Is there a way that we can cancel this right now and we focus on the video, because it is significantly less money, and then come back to microphones after we figure out the video?
We're having a nightmare with these microphones
I understand that.
and this sound system, and we've got to get that fixed. Every staff, I sit through this, every staff that can't hear half the time, we've got to fix this system. And working on the other, yes, I agree, we need to work on that too.
But are we sure that these microphones are going to fix the system? Because the problems that we have are still related to the video. They're not related.
Yes.
There's not a problem hearing. Nobody has a problem hearing out here.
It's the lagginess
And if you're online, you can hear everybody out here talking. You can't hear the people up here talking. So I
know y'all say that, but I pull it up each week to put it on YouTube, and it's fine. So I don't know what the problem is, really. That's why I got the camera.
My wife tries to watch this from home, and it just goes on and on.
I can watch it on YouTube.
I've got mine.
You can watch mine on
Then if
YouTube.
it's okay on
Sounds pretty
YouTube, then that makes me think that the microphones are fine right now. It's the live streaming right now.
Microphones ain't fine right now.
But if you can hear it on YouTube, then they can hear
You
everything.
can hear it on YouTube. You try to run this thing during the week, and we'll up here and see how it is. Not very good.
So what are you saying? Who is not hearing it? I'm not arguing, I'm asking. Because first of all, we have two different sets of microphones here, and I assume that these microphones are kind of what we're replacing, and that's for the internet, as opposed to these microphones are for the audience. Is that correct?
Well, it's for all of it, actually.
One goes to the little
One
round
goes
cups
to the
go to
web.
WebEx, which is the online people, and then the other microphones go to this, to record.
So like your YouTube and all that is coming off this microphone then?
What is it, how can you...
YouTube comes from when you tape it in there and give it to me.
On the
That's
live
when I
feed.
go put it on YouTube, yeah.
YouTube things comes from the live feed.
Yeah.
So when the
So-
microphone, is that going to replace all of this?
Yeah.
And it's going to be one
Yeah,
thing?
he said it all goes away.
It all
Every
goes away and it's
individual place
wireless.
will have one.
Okay.
So I'll
Instead of having two separate
Jacob
sets.
when I was at a school board meeting. And the cameras that they use, which could simplify what y'all are having to do with the whole recording and re-uploading, are only $1,200 to $1,500 compared to $28,000 for microphones.
Well, there must be something wrong because this went through the bid process. I talked to him yesterday, and it's all been competitively bid, and this was the low price, so I don't.
I know, but I'm saying, and he was even here before I was on council, I was talking to him, and he said that, and I could be wrong, or I could have misunderstood him, but he said that the cameras that they use, that are $1,200 to $1,500, that we could potentially use, would potentially clean up some of this, because we're using security cameras for trying to do a web.
They're
When those are
collecting
lagging,
audio
and
from
those
those
have
too.
audio, which then these cameras don't have audio, because then it would go through this. So, when y'all approved this before I got on council, I was sitting back there cringing because we're in a deficit, and
It's a lot of money.
we're cutting other people's budget, and when we're not looking at a different alternative before this, I can't approve $26,000 to $28,000 for microphones. I said
Well, then my
piece.
suggestion be to deny it. We just live with what we got.
Did we agree to want the voting deal?
Well, yes, and that's
They're
why
saying
it's
that's
coming back
part of it.
tonight.
Oh, that's just part of it. But
No.
the thing,
There's an increase, so we can get the old price without that voting.
my recollection was, that without the voting, it was less than the price we agreed to.
It was.
So I don't understand why all of a sudden
It
now,
was $1,500 more for the voting.
is that all?
Because we asked,
Yeah.
or y'all asked, I was in the audience with Brent.
Okay, I thought it was a bigger.
So it's $1,500 difference, and you said at the time, well, that's nothing compared to everything else.
Right,
Well, in
right.
the scope of
It is.
things, right.
Right.
So what he's
I
saying
just-
now is that there's an increase, they mistabulated,
Right,
so we
no, I
can have
get
the
that.
same price, but we wouldn't have the voting, or we still pay additional to have the system.
Right.
And if we did the voting, Paula, would you be running that, putting it up on the TV
I'm
screens and
not
stuff?
sure how it works, so we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, we seem a little small to be worried about that.
Yeah, that's what I agree.
And I.
Well, I'm like Brent,
honestly-
that dollar amount just seems like more research.
And I understand, Marvin, that you go through heck with these, but before I was on council, and I was trying to watch this without doing the WebEx, because trying to do the WebEx to hear y'all better than the web, and then it's lagging, it doesn't match up. I just feel like we need to spend not as much right now, try to swap out the cameras to get the live feed up to date, see if that fixes our issues like we think it might potentially, and then if it doesn't, I am open for discussions for new microphones. That's just my standpoint.
He could tell us if he can get hold of that. He controls the WebEx, so.
Like, can you?
Usually it's up here.
Unless they
I don't
call
think
in.
Nobody ever on it.
Yeah.
I think, though, Marvin, what you're describing, the main issue is when people are trying to participate in our meetings
Yeah.
online.
Yes, sir.
That's the issue, not the live feed or and even like watching the web-based. I don't think that's what he's referring. He's talking about when we've got board members or council members potentially on the TV, and they're trying to interact in the meeting live.
That's always a problem.
That's terrible. That's the part that's terrible. So I don't know if what you're suggesting will
Well, I don't think
change that.
people should be calling into the meetings here and now
Yeah,
that
but
we're
he's
back
out of town.
open.
People are out of town and they
No, I
do it.
100% agree with that, and I totally understand different things, but when we're trying to, because it also, if you try to go back and watch our council, it's broken up into 10-minute increments, and they're never in order. If we go this other route, because I talked to Jacob about it when I was at their meeting, he said they hit one button, it records the entire meeting, she hits another button, and within an hour or two, it buffers, it condenses it down, and puts it out on YouTube as the full meeting, and does not break it up into 10-minute increments.
And do you know, is it broke up because of the Angel system or whatever?
I think it's the Angel system now.
So I think
that
they're
is
doing that to
annoying.
make like chapters, but certainly it could be published a lot easier to
I
understand.
never
You start a
have-
meeting, it's in the middle, and then all of a sudden it goes to the start. and then-
I do this every time I do it, and I always double check that they're in order, so I don't know where that comes from.
Oh,
I don't
never
think
been
it's
in order.
you, I think
No, I
I
think
think
it's the way
it's YouTube out.